In January 2021, a study was done by the Chapman University, in which they asked 1,035 adults across the US about 95 different fears, ranging from topics about the environment, the government, natural disasters, COVID-19, and more, in which they reported which topics they were afraid of or very afraid of. This is apparently the 7th time they've done this study, which must be real comforting to those people who were asked what they were most afraid of and then sent off without further question. Of course, fears change over time, and the study does make a point to remember which fear placed in which spot in the previous years. I mean, for example, COVID-19 wasn't really a thing in those prior years. But the top 3 for this year has been a loved one contracting COVID-19 at 3rd place with 58%. People I love dying in 2nd place with 58.5%. Huge difference there. But the number 1 fear of Americans, beating out the 2nd place spot by more than 20% at 79.6%. Corrupt government officials. Not what I thought it would be. This study is interesting. You can see the rankings of other topics. By the way, clowns is sitting at a comfy 94th place, practically last, only beating out animals. But what else is interesting is this quote. For the 6th year in a row, the top fear remains to be corrupt government officials. As in the previous years, this fear continues to exceed the others that were asked about, with the next highest level of fear being over 20 points lower at 58.5%. I'm aware that one study isn't the tell-all for every single American out there, but for 6 years, corrupt government officials has been at the top by a huge margin. Why, though? What does that say about us, about what we're really afraid of? Let's find out. Welcome to our Halloween special episode. Thunder effect? There we go. With Halloween upon us, now was the time to look deep into what we are afraid of. Last year, I did my video on my deepest secrets. It's a very wrong video, but hey, it's there. The year before, it was on I Am the Grim Reaper. Both were thriller-type series, since I'm not usually the biggest fan of horror, though there are some exceptions, especially on my channel recently. But whenever I get to Halloween, I always kind of panic. This is a time I could easily do a video on, but I never really seem to know what to do. I did shoot it off to you guys last week, but to a small response. So that's what got me interested in that Chapman University study, looking into what people were afraid of. Which is also what shocked me. Corrupt government officials? Why that specifically? Why are there so many people more afraid of this than 94 other fears, which, no joke, include dying, which is only at 53? The reason I bring this up isn't because we're talking about corrupt government officials in Webtoon series, mainly because I'm having some difficulty finding and writing a script on corrupt government officials in Webtoon series. So instead, I thought, big picture. Why are we so afraid of corrupt government officials? I think to answer that question, we need to take a look at a Webtoon series that I haven't had a chance to talk about, Hero Killer. Now, one of the reasons I haven't been able to talk about Hero Killer is the brutality, for lack of a better term. People die often, and this Webtoon ain't afraid to show it. The world of Hero Killer has the gifted, people with superpowers. And of course, with gifted super people come people who want to use their powers for either side, the good and the bad. This makes sense, you're not stupid, you've seen superhero movies, TV shows, whatever, MCU. But Hero Killer is a little different. The world is basically under control of the Hero Clan. According to the series, many years ago, there was just a flat-out war between the Hero Clan and the Villain Association. The heroes emerged victorious, and due to this victory, the Hero Clan slowly gained more and more power, And at the beginning of the series, the Hero Clan has gained enough power to put the world under their thumb. Now, while something called the Hero Clan might sound, at the very least, a little comforting, it's probably immediately turned off by the whole putting the world under their thumb. As we're introduced to many heroes, many villains, and our main character, Iwa, the character in the middle. The villains are still villains, killers, whatever, thieves. Our heroes aren't much better. Since heroes are rarely punished and given a lot of freedom, they're pretty much given free reign to do whatever they want. And there's no clearer example than our first character introduced, the hero Jade. The hero Jade is the first named hero, and is also our first gifted character, the electric hero. Though hero might be the wrong term for Jade, as we get to see him in action in a hostage situation. These situations require very, very careful planning and execution. We don't want people to die, but Jade doesn't care. In fact, to be able to go all out, Jade kills the hostages himself, pretending like the criminals killed them so we can have some fun. This is legitimately terrifying. Imagine someone who could instantly leave a hole in your head in the shape of his hand. And the only thing that's stopping him from doing that to you isn't which side you're on, but how close you are to the action. In fact, the reason you're in danger isn't because someone's threatening your life, but that the hero that's fighting the villain doesn't care enough to save your life, and is only in it for the fun of the hunt. And Jade isn't the only hero like this. Most, if not all, the heroes do not care. We hear from Chaos. Yes, Chaos is a member of the hero organization and looks like this, and he actually pointed a gun at an innocent person, whatever. He's actually probably one of the better people, which is shocking. He directly talks about the organization. The clan is rotten. They've grown too big, and they have no intention of preventing deviations of heroes either. He proceeds to talk about some of said heroes, how most follow in Jade's path, being reckless and wild that don't care about casualties, or how some of them just care about their image. And how a person like Claymore, someone who follows justice first before anything else, is an outlier in the hero organization that connects heroes and supports them. Heroes! Heroes! How heroes like Stonefist over here don't care how many innocent people die in order to capture his target. How Sharpshooter Girl over here cares more about her brand than actual justice. How Heavy Smoker 100% knows that heroes and villains are just words. Stop fooling yourself. This isn't a fight between good and evil. We're all evil. We just happen to be the stronger evil. The stronger evil. Huh. It's strange that even people in the hero organization, people who are high up, basically the boss of a district, are saying that the hero clan is no different than actual villains. They're just the stronger evil. Which brings us to the poster child of the hero clan, Victoria, and her kind of opposite, Ingen. I looked it up, by the way, that's how you pronounce it, don't get mad at me. The reason I bring both of these people up at the same time is because their stories are very much tied together. Victoria, like I said, is the poster child of the hero clan. Meanwhile, Ingen is more the concept of the worst of the worst. These two have been alive for a while now, to say the least. These two fought each other in that war between heroes and villains that I mentioned at the beginning. The one that the heroes won, and the one that very much solidified the heroes' rule over the world. Not to mention, these two have gifts that are very much two sides of the same coin. A very powerful coin, to say the least. Victoria's gift seems to relate to lights, creating weapons with light, attacking with it, creating intangible light to fly on, I guess? Meanwhile, Ingen kinda has the same thing. He creates swords from the darkness, attacks with the darkness, and flies with it. These two are inherently linked together. These two are connected. But it's more than just that. Ingen is a villain. That's not really an opinion, it's a fact. he kills. He fights for a side that doesn't care about the innocent or others. He doesn't really care about justice or doing the right thing. The only thing that he cares about is his goal, is his objective. It doesn't matter how many people die in order to complete it. But that's weird, right? The way I described Engen kinda sounds familiar. Kinda like the heroes as well. Kinda like Victoria. She doesn't really care about showing off her power. Doesn't really care how many live or how many die. I'd say the only thing holding her back is her brand image. The title of hero. Not necessarily that she's heroic, more that people call her a hero and expect her to be a hero. I kinda laughed when I first saw that study. The one I mentioned at the very beginning of this video. That the number one fear is corrupt government officials. That it's so much higher than practically every other fear. Over your loved ones dying, over death, over disease, over pain, over problems, over global warming, over clowns. That corrupt government officials is the thing that most people are afraid of. But then I got to thinking. Then I got to reviewing this webtoon. And then I thought, this fear could stem from the wrong person having power over your life. You wouldn't want the wrong person to be too powerful, to have control over life. Not just yours, but your friends, your families. You wouldn't want the wrong person to be in charge of a nation, to be the reason that we go to war, to be the reason for so much death, for so much destruction in the world. That's why the world of Hero Killer is so terrifying. These heroes have full control over life and death. Their existence could mean your death in situations that could have been resolved. They don't care. They don't care if they level a building, slash down mountains, or kill hostages themselves. These heroes are the most dangerous and terrifying thing to these people. And the worst part is they're being celebrated, admired, and respected for the awful things that they're doing. But that's all for today. So, like always, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a spooky Halloween. Take care.